I tested it and it seems to work. Let's just see. I'm refreshing YouTube now. Are you streaming it?
I think so. This is not working. Whoa, now why are my speakers working?
Yeah.
Hang on, let me fix that.
Are you streaming it?
I think so. This is not working. Why are my speakers? Okay, I think it was a little feedback there.
Yeah, we're caught in limbo.
Okay, so it looks like you're there. Are we actually broadcasting though? Chat, cameraman. Should say somewhere here if there's people watching, right? You got the live control room. Interesting. Let's see, live control room.
Are there supposed to be other people in the chat?
Well, last time I did this, it would show you how many people were watching. I'm kind of concerned since there was 2 or 3 leaks that went out. I want to make sure this.
There's 11 people watching on YouTube at least. People are talking in the chat. Are you watching the YouTube?
Yeah. Why is it not? I'm not seeing the chat on my.
Oh yeah, I have a second computer here. Look at the chat, Matt. It's the Matt chat after all. It says.
Hey, how do I see the chat? Oh, I hate YouTube. Why did they make this thing so confusing? I can't even figure out how to get to where you might have to send me the link to my own video.
Oh, really? Really?
I don't know. Let's try this. I keep saying my video. Go to my video. So it's okay, there we go.
You find it?
Yeah, I wonder why it won't show me the chat over here. Hey, man, I think you tried to send me a join link. Okay, I see some people there.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, folks, I'm here with Al of Skald Against the Black Priory, and he's a very successful man. There he is, very happy with the results of that Kickstarter. So you sound like you weren't expecting it to hit the full funding right off the bat like that.
Well, you know, this is the first Kickstarter I do, and I think there are a lot of unknowns when you are working with Kickstarter. Things like anything from seasons and the time of the year, the time of the week. I mean, there's a million factors that can play in. So I think it's hard to predict, and it's also difficult sort of to get a read on your following, even though maybe you have traffic data. You know, you talk to your fans, you kind of get a good gut feeling, but still, if you haven't done it before, it's very difficult to say for sure how it's going to go. But it went super good. It went super good. We fully funded Skald Against the Black Priory in less than 24 hours, which is a really cool feeling. That's means the game is going to get made, and that we're probably going to go through some stretch goals as well. So
yeah, I saw you had some questions about those stretch goals already.
Yeah, people are, and you know, I've been spending a lot of time thinking about stretch goals, but at the same time, this came so quickly that I was almost taken a little bit aback from it. But I think we have the first one ready, and we might as well announce it straight away. The first stretch goal is for 90,000 NOK, which is almost.
What is NOK? That's the first time I've ever seen that.
Oh, it's Norwegian krones. It's Norwegian krones.
Norwegian krones.
So there's 8.7 Norwegian krones to $1, and that means that
you can never have enough of those Norwegian krones.
Oh man, you can never get enough of those sweet krones.
sweet krones.
Yeah.
Is that really the name of the money? They're krones?
Yeah, a krone. That's yeah, like a king's crown. It's
oh, crowns.
Yeah. We say krone in Norwegian, so it's not like an old lady, but it's
I thought you were saying like the old ladies.
Oh yeah, that would have been much
That'd be
cooler.
pretty cool currency.
Yeah, that would have been awesome currency. Now the next stretch goal for us is
You have a really big wallet.
sorry.
You have to have a really big wallet to carry those around.
Yeah, or really small old ladies.
Wow, this is just amazing. Let's see, what is it? Somewhere here it says your goal. Yeah, so 80. You're trying to raise 8,000, but you've already gone over that by
Yeah, we've gone far
well over 1,000. Wow.
We're about 120% in.
Pretty cool.
That's awesome.
So let's see what we can do. Al sent me a let's see, am I there? Yeah, Al sent me a demo to play around with here. And in theory, it should work just fine.
This is a very the game was fairly robust a couple of weeks ago, but then we started crunching for Kickstarter and adding more features, and it's much less stable now than it used to be. So it's been sort of I've been accumulating a bit of technical debt trying to get it. Oh wow! No, you have to go close the. You have to restart. You misclicked one of the textures. Just close the application and start it over again.
Okay. Let me share this part.
And halt that option screen.
I can try to share the option screen.
Yeah, the graphics quality needs to be set to fantastic. All of this will be gone in the final version. This is just since you are basically playing a development build, and unchecked window as well.
All right.
Now it will run in full screen. And do you have sound enabled?
I don't know how the sound will work. I hear the sound coming through my speakers.
No sound here.
Against the Black Priory. Well, it's looking pretty good. I might have to move around a little bit to be able to see.
Yeah, no problem.
Good looking avatar there, Mateo. Waves crash upon the shore. So is everybody seeing this screen okay? I have no idea what's going on. All I see is
no one's seeing the screen. There's no screen, no sound.
No screen or sound?
Yeah.
Okay, how do I exit out of the game then? Menu. I'm thinking I might have to go with that windowed option for them to be able to see.
Yeah, that's not the worst.
Okay, let's see. Am I back to showing myself?
Yeah, we've been watching you all the time, Matt.
Well, as exciting as that is, we kind of want to see the game. Let me try this again. So it's on fantastic. Okay. Screen share. Application window. Okay, is it working now?
I'm seeing it, but YouTube isn't, I think. Hold on. There's a little delay. Yeah, now it's on YouTube.
All right. The joys of live streaming.
Could you just try and press Alt-Enter once, just to see if it goes to fill the screen without the white bar?
What did you say? Alt-Enter?
There we go.
Is it full screen on your end?
It's full screen. It looks perfect.
All right, perfect. That's what we go for here.
So it's both an alpha version and also the texts. There's a lag. There's a lag on the sample rate isn't high enough. So for instance, the text crawl is very choppy. When you are seeing it, Matt, it's one character at a time, typing speed.
Everything looks good here, so just trust me, folks. Everything is fine. So let's see. Waves crash upon the shore. Above the skies rise dramatically in shades of purple. Seabirds circle the shoreline greedily. Today they will feast on the corpses of the dead men floating in the water. Yeah, this looks really good. I think these
Thanks.
So you're going for that Commodore 64 look.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the Commodore 64 palette, and the resolution isn't the correct Commodore 64 resolution, but it's fairly low, and it's consistent throughout. Every asset is displayed in the same resolution, and the game is basically made just by drawing pixel by pixel by pixel. I bake textures in runtime that ensure that each pixel is drawn as a pixel and not not by using Unity's system for displaying graphics in the common sense.
Well,
pixel art.
It's not it's not a role-playing game unless you're called something like Whelp.
Yeah, exactly.
Whelp. I know a lot of whelps. There's a lot of whelps around.
Yeah.
Get up, the cultists have found you. Gibbering cries of madmen. What? This is the safe house.
Not anymore.
Pounding on the door. Okay. Oh wow! Now there we go. So I can move with the mouse.
No, just use the keyboard for now, and the maps, the buttons you see, they map to the WASD keyboard with north, south, east, west.
Yeah, it's a shame you guys aren't hearing the music because it's really nice. I see a chest.
Actually, the music is there in the background. It's just really, really, really low, and the music is amazing. So it's a shame that you. There we go.
How do I get that chest? Oh my god.
Yeah. You opened it already. Press inventory. There wasn't really a prompt yet. And you have unequipped items.
A blade longer and thinner than that of the so-called side sword, much heavier than the small sword.
Press use equip, which is D.
All right. I feel safer already.
Yeah, you should.
You know, I look like the kind of guy that would have a rapier.
I think so too. I definitely think so too. Yeah.
On guard! Is this a bad
There's still a ton of features that need to be polished a bit, and paper doll animation, for instance, where you actually see the weapon being added.
You fool! I need equipment. There's a sword in the chest behind you and leather armor. No, I don't. I need to get that armor. That's a bed. I don't want to go to sleep. Crick. All right. So I just move on to it.
You do. Check your inventory. You might have something there now.
Equipped, unequipped. Okay. Equipped. So let's see. Is everything equipped?
Yeah. You're good to go.
Don't want to equip the rations. I'm kind of weird wearing some rations. These stairs lead down to the ground floor. The old Imperial sympathizer. It's like a bookshelf.
Nothing there.
I was hoping there'd be a copy of Dungeons and Desktops there in the.
Oh yeah, you know, I got mine yesterday, and I didn't have time to pick it up at the post office because of the Kickstarter.
Oh, that's a good excuse. This is old Matthias. Man, he looks kind of twisted. There are crashes, the front door is thrown open. Purple-robed figures pour into the hall. Smiling idiotically, they move menacingly towards you. Can't we talk about this? What has that ever worked? I'm not going to run.
How are you going to get out, though?
I got a rapier.
Yeah?
That's my key. So just come on, this little fish. Mother wants a... Little fish? Mother wants a word with you. Okay, so I can attack these guys, right?
Oh, well, maybe.
Cool. What do we got here? Oh.
Whoa.
Do you fight bravely or run away? Oh, come on. I'm glad there's not even an option there to run away. Fight.
Oh. Are the animations blinking out on your screen as well?
Yeah, just looking. Oh. Sure what's going on. Cultist misses me. That's good.
Well, yeah, then we found our first bug.
It's sort of coming and going. That's weird.
Yeah, it is. I think.
I wonder if it'll clear itself up.
I think the streaming is probably taxing graphics very hard, and it's skipping pixel drawing. Well, that's a shame.
I'll leave it one frame.
That's a shame. Just press Q to attack.
I'm probably missing because I can't actually see them.
Just press auto resolve, and you'll auto resolve every round. You win or die.
that resolved it all right.
Oh man, that was a bummer. That was a bummer, Matt.
Well, let's try it again.
Oh.
Come on. I wonder if we could change the settings somehow. Let's go back to this window. Is it working okay?
Maybe if you, yeah, exactly. Let's try that instead.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and equip my rapier again. Go around the potato man. Inventory. Equip. All right. Now we mean business.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a hint, Matt. There might be a way out. That's not the front door, and it may involve rats.
Oh, okay. Well, that's... Should I just run away then?
Maybe.
Run. Oh! Following me.
No, you went the wrong way. No.
There's nowhere to go. Where's my stairs?
Oh, you have to fight them now.
Well, at least I only have to fight one this time. And
Yeah,
look,
yeah,
it's not blinking out. Ah!
Man! Oh,
What? Go on.
what a bummer. Just press B. It's
I
a
wonder if I bump the graphics down to like... you think that...
No, I don't think that will affect it. It will butcher the textures instead. That's not really.
We don't want to do that.
Menu is dead for now.
How do I get to the rats? There we go.
You did okay the first time. Try and you can kill them one at a time when you split them up.
If I click it really quickly, you can see them. All right. Yeah, I think that was the...
That was a good tactic.
Yeah, the... although my hit points are down to 10. How do I get... Do I need... Is there resting or...
Eat the rations for now. There is resting, of course, in the game, but for this very short...
How do I click on it or what?
No, just press use equip. Press D, the D button.
Okay. Wow, I was hungry after that. Mojo left for the rats. So don't go through that door down there, huh?
No, that's the main door. You can go look. You can go have a peek.
Some more crates. Yeah.
And then there is contextual prompt on Q.
Turn rapier.
No, Q button.
Q. Whoa. Oh, is this a secret?
Yeah.
Okay, how do I get down those stairs?
Q again. Contextual button is always Q.
The sewers! Cries of the cultist behind you as you dive through the trap door. Falling hard onto the stone floor, you half expect the cultist to be at your heels. Strangely, however, you instead hear the sound of the trapdoor being resealed, mixed with the manic laughter of mad men. I got a good feeling about this. Oh, there he is.
Oh.
I probably don't want to. Is it going to kill me if I get in the sewage? Fish flash. Oh, there he is. Rodents of unusual size. Oh, he's a reference to the Princess Bride. As you run down the narrow sewer tunnel, you become aware of large, hunched animal-like figures that scurry around you, crowded to your left. In the darkness, a man is fighting for his life against the rodent fiends. I'm not gonna run away. See, it's working now.
Yeah, now you have a little fellow with you. No, it faces out at the moment we tried. Okay.
Well, it still let me kill rats. That's the big thing. Thank you for the help. It's not enough as rat shit. Roland, what a charmer. How do we get out of here? Only safe way out is through the black market. It's run by the Rat Queen herself, so better get ready to kiss some arse. The Rat Queen. Oh, yeah, I can see this. This is really shaping up. You know what? I'm going to fight just one more rat here. So, I mean, if this weren't flaky, I mean, what are my options here? Am I going to be able to move around? Oh, yes, the attack, taunt, defend. Quite a few options there. Move. All right, so let me bring it back. I got old Shane Staggs here who wants to get in on this. My lovely co-author. Now, wait a minute. Am I frozen? Well, let's see. I can see you, Shane. I can't see this YouTube. I think it's actually still working. You're good, man. Yeah, so the original plan was to chat a bit with Al and then bring Shane in here to chat a little bit, and then we'd open it up and chat with everybody. But, you know, those well-laid plans. Let's see. Shane.
Hey, I can drop if I need to. Did your guest disappear?
I think he's having some kind of problems. I'm hearing like a bad echo all of a sudden.
I've got my... Well, let me make sure I've got my headset set to... Hold on a second.
I have the speakers on here. It's probably
that was my fault. I can drop if... I don't want to block your guest from coming in.
No. I think he just... he must have crashed his computer or something.
Okay. Well, hopefully he'll be back.
Get it back
on. By the way, I think he's already gone, but Stu's Reviews was here, and one said he had to leave, but to tell you hi. So,
yeah, for this, maybe you understand this weirdness more than I do. It says chat over here. I click the chat. It brings up a screen that says group chat, but there's nothing there. Just says everybody joined, but there's no messages. If I go to the YouTube page, though, then I can see a chat.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do is just open up the YouTube page and then turn off the volume on the YouTube page and just use it for the... You can even pop the chat out and just get your little chat window.
Oh, that's a good idea. How do I...
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. There you go.
There you go.
So it looks like I see...
Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Driving me crazy.
So is Al Scape It? Is that Al? Because I see we have another person in on the
Yeah, what's going on?
Let's see if do you have your audio, Al? I can't hear him. Oh, he dropped again.
Well, that's the law of... That's the Murphy's Law, right? Whenever they try to show demos or something live, it always...
Yeah.
Everything that could possibly go wrong goes wrong.
Well, let's do this because you do have like 20-something viewers right now. Can you fire the game up again, and we can just take a look at that while we're waiting on him? Or,
you know, why don't I bring up the? I think it'd probably be better to bring up the Kickstarter page for it.
Yeah, let's do that too.
We could talk a little bit about it. There was some questions on there too. I thought were pretty good.
I mean, everything I see from the Kickstarter looks great. I'll tell you what. I'll keep an eye on chat, and that way you can, you know, just more focused on the game, and then I'll read out any questions or whatever from chat.
Okay, let me try to share the. I don't know though if I need to keep re-inviting him every time he drops, or
I would just to cover the bases.
yeah, part of me just finds this infinitely entertaining.
Yeah,
everything that can go wrong every time. I don't know how people ever do this.
Murphy, man. No plan survives first contact with the enemy. There it goes.
I mean, you get on YouTube and you see people doing these live events, and everything's just flawless, and I'm just always stupefied.
Right. No, yeah, it blows me away. But yeah, I would send him another invite, and then I think
you pledged knock. Like 1,000. It was like
oh my goodness, Matt!
Oh my God! It's almost 2,000.
I'm surprised you didn't go for that. There was like the top tier, but you went pretty close. It'll tell you if you the Kroner or whatever. Yeah. If you go down, scroll down, and it'll translate, or it'll automatically what do you call that? Show you the adjusted amount.
I wanted to get the one that had a T-shirt. It's one of the tiers and a big box. I mean, it was really sounded pretty fantastic.
Right. Another thing you want to do in your screen is every time I talk, it's probably popping my video up over the top of the Kickstarter. So there should be a way when you're sharing to set your window to always be up. So that way people are seeing the Kickstarter instead of me.
All right. Is everybody seeing the page?
Also, we have an update from Catherine Green. Said Al's net crashed hard. He's trying to reconnect. and then she said all our Wi-Fi just went down. So all their Wi-Fi.
All your Wi-Fi belong to us.
Yeah. So but there should be a setting when I've run Hangouts or whatever. You could set it so that your screen is always the main screen. Yeah, otherwise, it'll react to the audio.
But yeah, doing it right now, right? Or is it not?
I think we're good now. Now that I'm looking over, yeah. So,
4 windows to look at here. So,
yeah. So let's take a look at this Kickstarter. I'm definitely backing. I want to back at the level where you get the box. He's having like old school role-playing game boxes made, and that looks really interesting to me.
Just click your picture. Well, what the heck? Why did that freeze?
It's just there we go. There we go.
Are you hearing the music?
That's black for me.
Yeah, when I try to mute the music, it stops the video.
There we go. I hear music now.
No, it's it wants to stop.
Let's go down and open it up on YouTube.
Oh my God. There we go.
There we go. Yeah, it could be some video stuff.
This is just getting weirder. There was a big thunderstorm here about an hour ago. I wonder if that might not have anything to do with Al.
So for those just popping in or whatever, like what did you and Al get to talk about so far?
Well, he had a little demo for me to play that was maybe the first 5 to 10 minutes of gameplay.
And that's so that's where you got defeated handily.
Oh no. Yeah, I did die the first time.
Yeah.
And there's something kind of flaky with the graphics. It kept blinking out. Could see the units, but
I mean, it's not even probably in an alpha state yet. So what are you going to do?
You got to hold your mouth just right.
All right. What are you going to do? So what is it that?
Hi guys.
There he is. He's back.
There he's back.
Oh, what a clusterfuck.
It's like the old days.
Every time I do this is what happens. I mean.
Yep. So we can already tell that
That's what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah. Did he freeze up again already? I think he froze up again on us already. Yep, he did. Okay.
Poor Al.
Yeah, I know, right? But I'm going to screenshot because that's a great I'm going to screenshot that. Oh, there he is. He's back. All
Hey,
right.
guys.
Hey. So what you're saying, Al, is that your first day release already needs patching.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because it's strange how the conception of Kickstarters has changed from being that you have a good idea and you want money, to people having more and more of an expectation of there being an actual product on day one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, some people don't even have a title for their game.
yeah. And I can assure you the game runs smooth on my own computers and my tester's computer, but this it didn't run so smooth now. But it's a learning point, I guess. I've never tried to have anyone stream it live.
Sure.
You know, Al, will it let you share your screen?
Yeah, you should try sharing your screen.
Yeah, see if you can share your screen.
Hold on. Let's see.
I'm just fascinated by this character here.
Yeah. And do you have Al? Do you have any headphones handy?
Runs as well as any Bethesda game.
Hold on.
All right.
Just have to. Now, where do I share my screen, though?
Well, mine is a thing over at the top left menu bar. It's like a green monitor with an arrow.
Yeah. There we go. Are you seeing the screen?
Yes.
There we go.
And I think you need to set him so that he's always.
Yeah, I got it.
Yep. Cool. Well, Al, despite the constant disasters so far, I'm really intrigued by your game. In all honesty, it looks really cool.
That's fantastic to hear. It really, really means a lot to me to hear. This is a pure labor of love, so it's really good to hear people like what they're seeing.
My current bad joke is it's scalding hot.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, wow, that's a dad joke if I ever heard one.
That's right, baby.
Yeah, somebody that saw a comment on the Kickstarter that said they had never heard the word priory before outside of
that's cool.
like a monastic context.
Yeah, it's actually it's inspired by H.P. Lovecraft's Rats in the Wall.
I heard that one.
Yeah, there's an estate called Exon Priory, and I thought it was kind of a cool name. So it's actually from that.
Yeah,
and Against the Black Priory, it's an homage to Against the Slavers, the old.
the Against the Slave Lords. Yeah, they're the
yes.
A1 through A4, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I was actually, when I was in England, the base I was at had a priory on the base. That was
really
what
old.
Exactly is a priory.
It's a religious building
is that where the monks live or something?
Yeah, it's something like that. Nuns or whatever, and it was the one on the base was supposed to be haunted. I remember some radio station came out on Halloween and spent the night there. So,
where did you serve in the UK?
I was at RAF Chicksands, which was just a little outside of Bedford.
It's an Air Force base.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
But there were no planes, just a priory.
So how is it's a little bit choppy, but we'll see when we get to the combat how that works.
Okay.
Yeah. So
this is choppy, folks. You should play the old Pool of Radiance on the original Commodore 64.
Yeah, exactly.
There weren't any such thing as 100 frames per second back then.
Yeah,
there's definitely some things that were really cool. Like, for instance, I really think the Commodore 64 color palette is amazing, but there are a lot of restrictions the way the Commodore 64 drew its graphics that I don't adhere to. So it's an homage more than it is an attempt to replicate.
Well, I was listening to a podcast recently. In fact, Matt, I think it was when Geek's Guide to the Galaxy interviewed you, and it was talking about how a lot of the games today that are homages, they're actually trying to recreate the game you remember in your head, not the game that's actually there if you went back and replayed it.
Yeah, because a lot of times if you do go back and play those original games, they're not quite as good as you remember, right? Or you forget a lot of the little annoying stuff about them.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of, and that's sort of the thing that I'm trying to have a focus on. This sort of like this quality of life updates that weren't really essential. So, for instance, like the inventory system isn't really. It still needs a lot of polish, but there is a single inventory screen for the entire party, so you don't have to do the pool and distribute commands all the time, which were horrible when you tried to distribute equipment. So now the equipment that isn't equipped by anyone is carried in a common inventory for ease of management. And it works pretty good when you have a party of 6 people. The party gets up to 6 people big. And little things like that are, I mean, didn't really add much to the game.
There, weather.
Sorry?
Mini map. I'm just looking at the screen there. It's a pretty cool, that Aldo map.
Yeah.
That's something you.
Absolutely. That's also like a pretty neato quality of life upgrade, I think.
How much did Matt have to bribe you to get that custom avatar? Because I
don't know why everybody keeps saying that. I mean, Alice said very specifically that it's just coincidence.
I don't see it. I don't see
the resemblance at all.
Yeah, I just, Al, if you'll send me your PayPal address, I'm just saying that. I'll tell you one thing, Matt, if you wouldn't mind letting me share my screen for 1 second, I want to show this something that I think just looks amazing, and then we'll get back to Al.
For sure.
Yeah. I don't think. Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Is it set up so I can share my screen briefly? I just wanted to show people something.
Yeah, it's focused on you.
Is it? Okay. Do you guys, how do I share my screen here? Here we go. I just want to show people this if they haven't seen it. What are you seeing this this travel video here? That is so Ultima it hurts.
Yeah.
That looks so good right there.
That's that
right there is, and I mean, I know you're being inspired by a multitude of games, but if you're a retro CRPG gamer, and that doesn't make you just your inner Ultima geek out, I don't know what will. So I just wanted to point that out. I mean, I would back this game based just on that screen right there.
That's really cool to hear.
Yeah. All right, Matt, I'm done. If you want to take it back to, I'll stop sharing.
Which screen is on?
And we're starting to get some questions from chat.
Yeah. I just want to say I'm bumbling about the overland while you talk.
Oh, look at that wreckage.
Yeah.
Pieces of debris.
All kind of debris. I mean, if a game's got debris,
you gotta have debris.
Yeah, debris. So one thing that
what a debris in Norway.
Definitely. I've heard Norway is the best place. I've heard Norway.
Oh, there we go. Okay, let's see how this is supposed to play out.
All right, well, hold on. We got a couple of comments from chat. Or is it in a combat? Yeah, let's wait for the combat to get over with. Rats!
Oh, sweet rat killing.
Yes.
I can't tell if I'm frozen or you guys are frozen or everybody's iced.
I can see.
I'm starting to see it now. There we go.
Yeah, I can see it. Now, so Al, is this is turn-based combat? What's happening here?
Yeah, the combat is menu-based and turn-based, and it's actually modeled very closely to the Bard's Tale combat. You'll see that if there are more than 3 members in the party, like the rats, they started to form a second column, or a second line. that would be out of melee range. So if there were 6 party members, 3 of them would be standing in the rear rank. They would be have ranged attacks, be spellcasters, and so forth. And then as combat starts, it rolls up initiative, and then it proceeds through the initiative lists from first to last. And it's so one of the rats is out of range, doesn't have ranged attack, he can't attack. He moves on, it steals 2 damage. Then it's Mateo's turn. Pick your target, and then choose your ability if you have different abilities, and then execute the attack.
Oh,
do the rats. And then there is also the auto-resolve function, where if you have a round where you feel that you're very confident in winning, you just auto-resolve. This time you died. I killed you.
Wow. I guess that should make Matt feel better to know that the dev got rocked too. So
exactly.
Yeah. So a couple of comments and questions.
Pretty serious rats.
It said, so Thomas, I'm going to say this wrong and I apologize. And Tozazek said you could probably, and he's talking about bribing Al to get your own avatar. He said you could probably add that to a lower Kickstarter tier of the avatar pick. Yeah, so lots of bribe. People want to bribe you, Al. Yeah.
Well, he could be like the Star Citizen with his ships, right? Except you make your own little character.
Yeah, and then now I'm going to try to Marco Padrana.
Yeah, Marco is one of my graphical artists, in fact. So,
okay.
Hi, Marco.
So here's what he said. He said, another dev asked me today if Skald was ever considered to be played on original hardware and released on Steam as inside an emulator. It was odd, but did you? So
no.
Okay, yeah.
Skald is 100% developed in C# and Unity, in an engine that's built on top of Unity. So it would never run on original.
Yeah, I was wondering, because I think that Nox Archaeist, or however you say that, that one was designed to run on an Apple II.
It was. It's literally written in assembly language, so it's quite a technical achievement, to be honest.
Whoa. Did you say Skald was written in assembly? Or
no.
Okay. Yeah, because that's no joke. Assembly is hard. Moving one piece of information from one location to another in memory in assembly is really hard. I can't imagine doing a whole game.
It's really impressive. It's quite the achievement, I think. They really.
You have to be a certain kind of person to really, I think, appreciate something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, the average Ultimate fan, I don't know. You know, I mean, obviously Shane gets it, and you get it. But,
man, assembly language is hard. I threw myself at the mercy of the professor on the assembly language class I took. I mean, I was like, man, and he helped me through it, but that stuff is hard. And then, because assembly language isn't machine language, but it's only 1 or 2 steps away from it. Yeah. And then, okay, so I'm not sure what this means. We may get ourselves in trouble with the FCC for me reading this, but GoTrek44 said rats are susceptible to a hot Cosby. And I'm not sure I want to know what that means, but that's some input there. And then let's see. Marco is also asking, can you move around on the combat grid? So once combat starts, can you move your location, Al?
You can switch. So whichever position you hold in the first or the second line doesn't have anything to say, but you can move back and forth from melee to ranged combat range.
Okay.
For now, at least. But everything in all the design features in combat, for instance, nothing is written in stone yet. But this is sort of a blue copy of the way combat worked in the Bard's Tales games. The only difference is that you have the little miniatures bobbing around instead of
Which Ultimate? One of the Ultimates would do this too, right? One of the early ones. Is it Ultimate 3 that had the sort of turn-based mode?
I think so. Sort of the reason for doing it is that with combat where you have movement on the grid, there is always some very cheesy strategies where ranged combat becomes extremely efficient. You just stand there and shoot as the enemies walk towards you. And there is always a couple of minutes of just, or a couple of maybe half a minute of just walking to get within position. And I try to cut that out to make the combat much faster. So combat can be played out in a few seconds if you want to. But since there is a lot of decision points for every step in the combat, there is still room to make combat very challenging. The combinatorics of the combat should make for a lot of depth in how the system plays out. But this needs a lot more testing and design to really work out, but that's sort of the design pillar I'm going for right now.
Yeah, the viewer count's gone up, so I just want to remind people that
you don't want to end up as rat shit. I think that'll be my new life motto there.
Yeah, you know, that will be the slogan for the RPG that Matt puts out. You don't want to end up.
Don't end up as rat shit. Just
there you go.
Don't want to end up as rat shit. You really don't.
That's fantastic. But yeah, I want to, because more people have joined that are watching now live. Want to remind folks that this is a pre-alpha demo. So, you know, and it looks darn good already.
This is like a rough draft of something.
Yeah.
If you support it, all these little issues will go away.
Yeah. And Al, I don't know how big your team is. I know you said that Marco, who's in the chat right now, was one of your designers or graphic designers. You guys and gals and whoever's have nailed the original 8-bit feel. Like,
oh my god,
like this could be like, I could be like, I could be like, oh, what's this abandonware that I just found? You know, I mean, it looks correct. And then so the other thing,
he was telling me earlier that he bypassed all of Unity's graphics routines and
to force it to
yeah. The screen is basically one big.
Above my pay grade to understand it, but
oh my goodness, it's another rat.
Oh no!
Gee, I wonder if he put rats in here in this demo for Matt. I wonder. Oh, what is that? Is that an ogre? What was that?
Just good.
A band of thieves.
Thieves. I see Shane could be one of those thieves there.
That's right. That's right. They let you pass. Oh, they escort you to a black market. Getting a lot of comments like, yeah. Oh, the rat queen. She's
the rat queen. See, I'm a married man. Otherwise,
yeah,
dude, she's contemplating that rat.
Oh man,
right,
or is the rat contemplating her?
She gotta eat the rat. I mean, or she rat herself.
Al just pointed out that not only is this a fun combat game, but there's philosophy too.
Yeah, exactly.
Is she contemplating the rat, or is the rat contemplating her?
Oh wow, we went deep.
Got that animation on the torches back there too. A little rat.
Yeah, it looks great.
Flicking. If you look, even the nose is like sort of.
Look at that little twitchy tail. That little furry bastard needs an axe in its head. Come on, Matt, get in there.
It's a good question. Do we bring cheese to appease the rat queens? That's the kind of thing I think about.
That's great. Yeah, exactly. we got some more comments here. Chris Freeman says combat looks fantastic.
That's very cool.
Yep. GoTrek 44, he of the hot Cosby said, you know what you need for assembly language? Lots of caffeine. That's very true. And patience. The reason, so GoTrek also pointed out that Matt's drinking horn gives him plus 1,000 HP.
Oh, it does. It does.
At least.
Yes. Life School said, love the Matt icon. Finally, a Matt Chat RPG. Well, the word on the street, Life School, is that the resemblance between the avatar and Matt is purely coincidental. That's what we're being told.
Yeah.
Yep. And
my lawyer has instructed me to say
professionally good-looking 8-bit avatar will bear an uncanny likeness.
Look at that! Look at that overlay. I mean, that is so Ultima. I'm dying here. That's amazing. All right, so, and then what else? Sue or Cert R, so like searcher, I guess, said so. Mateo is confirmed as an optional preset starting character? ?
No. I think he will be a recruitable character in the game.
Ooh.
The strange thing is that I made him obviously for fun, but the more you play around with a character like this, you start developing a backstory for them, and before you know it, they're sort of part of the game world anyway. So I think maybe he's here to stay.
His magic item is he has ale that will make you weak.
Oh,
Here's
man.
the ale. Oh, the weak. I am sorry about that. I'll just stop right now. Yeah. GoTrek again says this looks addicting, very addicting. MN says I can't wait to play this. Thomas says that a rat tail in your pocket, or are you happy to see me? And then GoTrek said that
common question around these parts.
Strangely enough. Yeah.
That looks fantastic.
So the plan is that when the Kickstarter finishes, I will release a demo within a week or two after the Kickstarter. The game is much more content complete than now, but I had to pull a lot of it apart to prepare it properly for the Kickstarter, to have all the animation systems online before the Kickstarter. So it needs some cleaning up before the demo is ready. But the demo will be ready for backers of certain tiers. I think it's the second tier up. We get the demo in July, and then we will move on to beta testing, hopefully around Christmas, where we will invite the backers to back for beta testing as well, when we start adding the content to the proper game down the line. And this is, I hope for it to be kind of a narrative-heavy game, so it needs playtesting, honestly. This is not just walking around on a grid killing rats. I really want it to be... to have sort of a fairly deep narrative, lots of dialogue, and lots of these little choose-your-own-adventure sequences where you interact with the world in other ways rather than just bumping into it. As you do in these games.
So another graphic.
The thing about this is kind of what Shane was getting at earlier, that you're not just trying to make a Commodore 64 game that will run on a C64, but you're trying to recreate the nostalgia. Sort of the pleasant memories people have of this era, but update it with the quality of life enhancements that we've gotten used to. I think I don't know. I mean, that sounds like you're in the right place.
I definitely think that there are a lot of things that have gotten really, really good in newer computer games.
I don't want an exact duplicate of a game back then.
Exactly. Lots of things like... So I've been playing Baldur's Gate 1 a lot whilst coding, sort of to relax, and I've also been playing Pillars of Eternity quite a lot. Those two games are interesting because they're very similar, but Pillars of Eternity is a much more pleasant gaming experience due to all of the quality of life features they added, the way you rest, the way you save.
Yeah, the save games. I had a couple questions about that.
Yeah, shoot.
So how will you save the game?
The way I'm thinking right now is that the game has a save and quit feature. First of all, that's sort of the most important thing, so that you can play for 5 minutes and then put it away, and you will start exactly where you quit. That's also important because I intend eventually to port this to smart devices, mobile phones, and iPads, and it's integral to the play design to be able to save and quit whenever you put down the game. And guys like us, we have probably, you have families, you have dogs that needs to be walked. You can play for 5 minutes in the toilet, and that's it pretty much.
That's when I get all my comic books read.
Yeah, exactly.
What were you going to say, Shane? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, I don't even remember. Oh, I think I had a graphics question. I know you used Unity, or you're using Unity. So you're not using literal sprites. It's just made to look like sprites for the animation?
No, quite the opposite. I am using sprites in the classical sense, as in bundles of pixels that are drawn on top of each other with some complex draw routines that draw different layers of the maps at different times, and baking it all into one huge texture. So instead of using the Unity sprite system and the Unity game object system, I could probably write a wrapper around the core of my engine and then just use another system than Unity altogether. There is very little that's actually being done by the Unity engine itself.
Okay, so you're using sprites then.
I am. It's yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and if somebody's watching, they don't know what we're talking about. A sprite is a lot of the old school 8-bit, RPGs and other games use these. It's you have one image file that has multiple images at different positions and movement, and then that image file would just kind of move around or whatever to show you what was happening at that time. I'm assuming that's what Al is doing here, but it's just an old,
basically a grid of colored dots that gets filled in or turned into any color. Yeah,
there you go.
I want a rapier now.
Yeah, you want?
When you get a rapier, is that something you can Amazon this or eBay?
eBay a rapier, a real rapier? Ha ha!
So at 7 o'clock, I said that I would bring in everybody that wanted to be part of the chat now. So if you are a patron or Ratron, it's just if you don't mind pasting in your probably easiest way, just I guess the Gmail or email there, or just say I want an invite and I'll send you an invite. Just put it into the chat.
I gotta say also that I try sort of have this narrative ambition for Against the Black Priory to be part of like a bigger IP that I want to develop a little bit. Obviously, it's of course based on my own tabletop RPG setting from way back. But I'm kind of a big history buff, and I really enjoy trying to stretch the trope space a little bit. From obviously, I'm walking around in a sewer killing rats today, so that's not really what I'm hoping to do in the proper game when it gets out.
Hey now.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with some rats, of course.
And just you've.
Do we have anybody else that wants to join the video chat? Hey, we got an email from Chris Apollon. I don't know if you saw that, Shane.
I did see that. Yeah, I was going to point that out to you. I had sent him a message. Yeah, this is the kind of nice guy that Chris Apollon is. I had sent him a message a day or two ago saying, hey, do you have an address? I want to send you being detained in about 10 minutes. Like, GoTrek, what do you mean by like being detained? I mean, not like literally detained at the border or something, right? Talking about you. That's dedication. GoTrek's on the run from the authorities and still watching.
I knew that. Yeah.
And still watching the video. So Chris Avalon, this is the kind of nice guy he is. He wrote the preface for the new Dungeons and Desktops 2nd edition.
Yeah, and that's right.
So I sent him a message a couple days ago, and I said, hey, Chris, do you have a preferred address that you'd like me to send this to? And I said, by the way, it's not Kreia, trying to track you down or anything. Like, literally, I'm trying to send you a book and all that. And he emailed Matt and I just a few minutes ago and said, no, I'm going to support the cause and buy my own copy. So that's just the kind of nice guy that.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, that's the kind of nice guy that Chris Avalon is. So
that's really cool.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Got some other comments.
Let's
see. Got some more comments in the chat. Life School pointed out the exterior looks so much like Ultima 1. I agree. I mean, I'm like, oh, it's hitting the nostalgia feels hard. And then Caliph, this is kind of referencing back to something that Al said a few minutes ago about bumping into a game world, and said so many games are like that too. You don't really interact with the world. You just quote unquote bump into it. I'm really pleased to hear you say that.
Yeah.
GoTrek said, I hope this project passes with smooth flying colors. Well,
it already has.
It already has. Congratulations. Yeah. You already passed your basic goals, so the game's happening no matter what.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, he's well over 1,000 kroner over his.
Yep. Which is
I'm over. Yeah,
that's about $10 million in American currency.
At least. Well, no, the 10 million is what you paid him to get that avatar. I wasn't supposed to say that. I'm sorry, Matt. That was supposed. You mentioned
glasses on. That's not me.
Yeah, you're totally in disguise. So the other thing that I was going to ask Al, you mentioned that this game is based heavily on your previous old tabletop role playing campaign.
Yeah.
What kind of tabletop role playing community is there you're in Norway, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the tabletop role playing scene like in Norway?
It's a lot like anywhere else in the world. It's usually young people fairly active around the university cities. So that's where I played the most. Played a lot growing up in my teens, in high school, and then while going to university, we were kind of a large group. So I think it's probably as popular here as anywhere else in the world, I would say. Absolutely. We had a really great campaign that went for pretty much an entire master's degree and longer for most of us. So it's awesome.
Yeah, I've heard there's a game called something like Dark Eye.
That's in Germany.
It's a German thing, not a Norway.
Yeah, that's true. That's a German game.
Yeah, evidently in Germany, that's bigger than D&D, or at least it was at one point.
Yeah, I heard.
And that's
Pretty
what
cool.
Realms of Arcania. What are the 3 games there? Realms of Arcania. What are the other 2 there, Matt?
One that came out back in the early 2000s, I think.
Those are based on The Dark Eye.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Drakensang or something like that.
Is that
Yeah.
Is that the same thing as The Dark Eye? Drakensang?
No, I'm thinking there's something kind of like that. Maybe somebody in the chat would know. Yeah, Drakensang's what I was thinking, but.
And then Sert said Das Schwarze. I guess that's the Dark
Das
Eye.
Schwarz.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, Das Schwarz.
So what is I see your Schwartz? It's as big as mine. Yes. Yeah.
Das Schwarz.
I see your Schwartz. Yeah, but that's the only computer role playing game I know of that's based on the Dark Eye is those Realms of Arcania, that trilogy there. So
For sure.
Yeah, I can't. I know there was another one that I played a little more recent than that, but I can't think of the name of it.
Was it based on the Dark Eye?
Yeah, it was kind of. Oh, it's gonna kill me. I just can't think of the name of it.
If only there was a interconnected.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's what they're trying to tell you. Drakensang on Steam. He's been trying to tell us.
No, it's not Drakensang though. That's what I'm.
But it's based on. Okay, so here's the confusion because GoTrek has been trying to tell us. Okay, so Drakensang.
Is that it? Chains of Satanov.
I don't know.
Now
there's a CRPG that's a third-person party-based RPG called Drakensang that is based on the Dark Eye.
Maybe it is Drakensang I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Well, when did that Drakensang game come out?
Well, you know what Drakensang means, right? That's when you live in the South and you drink too much and you start singing.
Yeah, I think it is Drakensang.
We drank and sang. Yeah.
In Norway, we're a lot of drinking saying.
Yeah. We have a lot of drinking in here as well.
Drinking saying. Oh, maybe I'm thinking there was one older than Drinking Saying.
Well, the only ones I know are like Star Trail and Realms of Arcania, whatever those 3 were. Let me see if I can get maybe there's. Hold on.
It's Guido. Is that Guido's Hinkle's games?
Yep.
Yeah.
It is.
I interviewed him.
Believe. All right. I'm trying to see.
Not Darklands. No, Darklands is definitely not Dark Eye.
But I love trivia. The Darklands game is how I even got to know Matt because a friend of mine sent me his Darklands video like however many years ago, and then I kind of got to know Matt through that. So Shane Collins is saying it's Satanov, Satinav, Satanov, or Satina 5.
It's Demonicon. Oh boy.
All right, let's take a look here. The Dark Eye Chains of Satanov. So yeah, you were right, Matt. Yeah, you were right.
Yeah,
So
that
there's
one
at
came
least-
out sometime in the 2000s, right? I don't remember it being that old.
I'm looking right now. Let's see here. When did this come out? 2012. It hadn't been that long. 7 years. It's a
It might
point
have
and
been.
click adventure game. It's an adventure game, not an RPG.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it is, yeah. The Dark Eye is evidently, and I know we're here to talk about Skald, but the Dark Eye evidently, like I said, I don't know if it's just Germany or what, but it's big. It's big in one geographic area. It's like a big game, but outside of that, a lot of people don't know about it. So back to Skald.
Yeah. One thing about Skald before we get too much later here. I know originally you were thinking about, or we'd been talking about you doing an editor called Skald, right? You want to talk a little bit about that? What the plans are for that?
Yeah. So hopefully, like, I really enjoy working within tile-based, turn-based role-playing games. And to sort of be able to make not only Against the Black Priory, but a number 2 and a number 3 as well. I'm trying to build a robust editor as I go along, so that it's I don't have to program the engine anew every time I make another game. And there is a lot of interest in tools like this as well. So hopefully sometime down the line, it would be really nice to be able to release it either as open source or as some kind of proprietary software for other people to try their hand in. It's rewarding to work in, and I think a lot of people really enjoy working in low fidelity, low resolution medium like pixel art. So there's probably a market for it, absolutely. But that's a bit far down the line. It takes a lot of testing and polishing edges off before you can publish an editor like that.
I think it's definitely a worthwhile project. I know there's RPG Maker and products
absolutely.
like that, but they seem like they're more JRPG. Wouldn't you say, Shane, a little more JRPG?
Yeah, every time
focused. It doesn't look like this to me.
I agree. Like, the Humble Bundle will have like an RPG Maker and I'll get all excited, and it's all JRPG stuff, or, which, if that's what people are into, more power to them, but I'm much more into this style. So
absolutely. I'm not a big fan of JRPGs. So a big part of the motivation for making Skald was actually making a Western RPG. Absolutely, 100%. That's a huge part of the design philosophy for me. Candle, I love the Magic Candle series as well. That was a huge influence for me. And Wasteland 1, there is a lot of Wasteland 1 in the way the basic gameplay is built up in this game. And if you had substituted the graphical presentation of the combat, where you have the guys on the map, if you instead just had the pictures of the enemies and like the menu, it would be pretty much one-on-one the gameplay in Wasteland 1, actually. So that's sort of a...
Yeah, I hadn't really been thinking about Wasteland, but now that you mention it,
yeah,
you definitely see that.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned, Al, that you mentioned earlier that, hey, everybody's busy, and sometimes you've got to find creative ways, to put it mildly, for when you get your entertainment. So what does your, I guess, schedule look like? Or are you able to work full time, or what, on the game, or what is your situation with your team like? How much of your life is this taking up right now?
So there is no team. This is a solo development project, but I have some incredible freelancers that help me a lot, that I use as much as possible, especially for creating the more complex art assets and also all of the music, which is a shame that you're not hearing, because the music is really, really,
well,
really good.
I actually have heard some. It did come.
Yeah, you got it on the Kickstarter page too, a musical.
Yeah, the intro tune. It's really, really good.
Yeah, we heard some. In fact, somebody in the chat earlier mentioned that it reminded them of the Bard's Tale, the music did. So we have heard some of the music.
Yeah, that's good. That's really, really good.
Yeah.
And there's more of it coming. We're probably releasing a demo track with the Kickstarter as a promotional feature to get some more attention down the line. It's really worth listening to. Really, really worth listening to.
Hey Matt, look at that rat. That rat's taunting
yeah.
you, man. That rat's taunting you, dude. Those beady little
Yeah,
eyes.
talk more. You said I know you got these you said the Feelies were kind of Ultima inspired.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't have the page pulled up to see what all. Isn't that
No, so the feeling
like
is we have the
they're
map.
like
we
a
have
little
the
Ankh?
No, not the Ankh, not the Ankh. We have there is a dice set in the.
I thought I saw a dice set. Yeah.
Yeah. We're making custom dice for the collector's edition. This is also because I plan to include instead of just a hint book, I'll write the hint book as sort of a campaign supplement for a tabletop role-playing campaign. So you can kind of drop the Skald universe into your or play a session on a tabletop RPG in the Skald universe using your custom-made Skald dice as well. That would be really, really, really cool. It's a really cool way for people to interact with the world. That would be nice.
So speaking of dice and table, this game reaches way back into your tabletop roots.
Absolutely.
How much of the underlying game system are you comfortable talking about? Like, is it like if my character swings at an enemy, what is my chance to hit based on, and how does armor work? I mean, do you feel comfortable discussing that sort of thing?
Yeah. I can discuss the way it works now, and obviously this is all prone to change, especially when you start interacting with testers and backers. But the way it works now, armor increases or usually increases the chance to hit someone. They move slower, but it absorbs damage. So there's always a trade-off to using armor. Armor absorbs damage. It doesn't make it less likely that you will be hit.
So armor has a soak. But
exactly. Soak armor. And the attack roll is opposed by basically by the dexterity or the agility of the character, the dodge,
right.
the dodge of the character.
Right.
What is SAN? SAN up there by it.
Sanity.
Yes,
Yeah.
sanity.
Oh, so this is like a Cthulhu.
Is this like Call of Cthulhu, where you can like go nuts and go jump off a building?
Yeah, sort of. I really enjoy the idea that sort of adventuring has wear and tear on the characters, a bit like Darkest Dungeon. I think that's a really cool design concept, and I'm not going to make it as hard as they do, but I really think there's a lot of design space in that area.
Well, most people in the CRPG world, when you mention sanity, they're going to think of Darkest Dungeons, whereas like me, I'm going to think Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, I mean, Call of Cthulhu, yeah.
Yeah,
this is all Cthulhu in my head.
So if you get crazy enough, do you start thinking you're a rat?
Well, yeah, it's mostly rat based, Matt. It is.
You start thinking you're a rat.
I'm just putting that out there.
So we got a comment. Cert R has literally taken Marco and flung him up on stage because you mentioned in the chat because you mentioned freelancers. So and then Marco to take the attention back to Al said, I would like to know, beside the system, is also the story based on the one you played on tabletop? Are there modules, if not planned, possible later on? But just to point out, Marco is one of the freelancers that Al mentioned. And if you go to the Kickstarter page, there's a bio on several of the freelancers you can check out.
I think you'll recognize Cert R's name there as well if you look. Cert R made all the music in the game.
So I got to know, is Cert R, is that a play on Searcher, or am I just reading too much into that?
No, actually, I've never thought about it. Cert, you'll have to answer us in the comments, actually.
Are you fated to destroy Asgard, or am I just making a connection that's not there? He is indeed.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, Searcher is in the chat room and is fated to destroy Asgard during Ragnarok.
Where's this bio page yet you're talking about?
It's on the Kickstarter page. Just keep scrolling.
I'm looking all around.
Yeah, it's almost on the bottom. Almost on the bottom.
Yeah, let's take a look. Well, that's amazing. That you're able. So to take it back to what it takes, and then I'll highlight Marco's question again. I mean, are you basically working full time on this game right now? Is it basically
no?
Okay, all right.
No, I'm not. I'm working. I have a day job that I work full time on, but my kids are starting to grow up and I have a lot of spare time. So and I really, really, really enjoy the project. I spent a lot of time.
So they're built-in freelancers. See, now, what I look forward to doing with my son is when he gets old enough that he can go mow the lawn. But Al is like, get in there and do some coding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Learn assembly already.
Yeah. Back in my day, we didn't have Unity. We coded uphill both way in the snows and
what is this? We're Grave Robber Foundation.
So Sort R is the creator of the Geist Shift, which is
Bless you.
Vector graphic dungeon crawler, and Marco is one half of the team that made Eons of Sand, which is also an amazing.
That sounds familiar. That game.
Oh yeah, I had that guy on not too long ago.
I'm sorry. Overwarden said something really funny. He said, "Kids already know basic assembly. Go to room." I'm sorry. I found that incredibly amusing. So, all right.
Movie X.
Yeah, there are, and I think
we got to get Becky Berger in here if you guys really want to geek out on the assembly. Because
she could talk. Yeah, she could own everybody in here. I will say that, Al, I think this is really nice that you're listing your freelancers on the Kickstarter page, because a lot of people won't do that. Now, they'll just, this is really nice that you're highlighting everybody who's contributing. So, yeah, that was really nice of you.
That's good too.
Yeah, I'm about to have to drop, but I mean, I'm definitely going to support this game. And I just wanted to highlight something I saw on Twitter earlier today. Al. I don't know why I called you Skald.
He's become his own project.
You are Skald. So you have a Kickstarter goal or stretch goal or something, or a pledge tier where you're going to make these old school D&D or RPG boxes to put the game in, like the old basic set for D&D or something like that. And I think that's really cool. So I'm most likely going to support at that level.
That's cool. That's really cool. We hope to get a big box edition. That's really, really awesome.
Yeah,
I would also like to mention that we're coming up on $10,000. So it's stretch goal time as well now. And if we get to $10,000, we'll add another overland region to the game, which is because the game is set just south of sort of the polar ice caps in the world, and if you travel a little bit north, you very quickly find yourself in a thing in the ice kind of scenario with huge floating icebergs and mountains of madness. So
Frost Giant, perhaps.
Ooh, the Mountains of Madness. Another Lovecraft. Exactly. Are there? What were those things called that were at the Mountains of Madness? The
Saga.
Yeah, are there going to be Trogoths? Yeah, Trogoths.
Who knows?
That's one of my favorite. In fact, that's probably my favorite H.P. Lovecraft story.
It is definitely. It's fantastic.
I love it. So Marco said, what did he say? Yeah, he did have that question about is the actual story here based on one of your old tabletop adventures, and are you going to release modules like tabletop kind of stuff? I think, or do you mean? Now, Marco, do you mean modules that are like additional content for the computer game? Wait and see what he says here.
Both, yeah, but I can answer both, because both are certainly possible, and that's sort of the idea with working within the Skald IP. It's to construct an IP that's strong enough to use both for publishing tabletop stuff and also for publishing more than just one game in when iteration time becomes faster as the engine and system solidifies a bit. Right. So there will definitely be more than one Skald game, especially considering how well this one is doing on Kickstarter already. And so it will be really, really cool to sort of flesh out the world a little bit more. And yes, Against the Black Priory is based on a tabletop module that I wrote and ran 10 years ago.
So you're going to have you'll have the Black Priory, then you're going to have the Chartreuse Priory. You'll have
The periwinkle.
you'll have the Periwinkle Priory. And Marco clarified that he meant additional content, and then he said cool. So
Ebony Priory.
Yeah, you've got a definite supporter with me here, Al. I'm enthusiastically gonna kickstart the heck out of this, and I just want you to know I'm not looking for freelance credit, but if you want a sound file of Matt losing his mind over killing a rat, I can get it to you. So when the character kills a rat, if randomly you want to have it just exclaiming in ecstasy over killing the rat, I can get that sound for you. Yeah, I can get that sound. He says, "Look at them beady little eyes. Oh, it wants some. Oh, yes, it wants it." Whatever it was you said, Matt.
I want that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna run, but Matt, thanks for inviting me into chat. And
no problem.
Al, it was a pleasure talking with you, and I'm definitely looking forward to kickstart your game.
Yeah, I'm thinking
you as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking we'll probably wrap it up here, folks. Unless you've got, I'll give a minute or two if anybody's got any last questions for me or Skald. Which I think that is a good name for him.
That might be a good name, as good as any. No, it's 2:30 a.m. in Europe for me and certain.
Oh my God!
Time for bed for all of us.
Okay, I'm not seeing anything, so we'll just end it here. I will say, go to the Kickstarter page. It's called Skald. That's SKALD : Against the Black Priory. He's already blown past his goal, so that's not an issue. But if you do want to pledge to this, there's some very nice reward tiers, everything up to just getting a copy of the game. Of course, this is something people don't really know sometimes about Kickstarter, is you could just back a project without any kind of reward. If you just want to throw a couple of dollars at it, that's something you can do. But I think the ultimate, so it goes all the way up to $1,000 for Dark Lord, down to
I'm back around $1,000.
I think. Oh, there's a Ziploc edition. That's a very nice homage there to Kelebeth.
Absolutely, and it has to do also with shipping from Europe to the States. So for people who want the physical, it becomes so much easier to just send it flat packed in a letter than in a big box.
So here it is. So it's $40 for the top digital tier, and then $20. I'm trying to find the cheapest one for the. If you just want the game digitally, it's called Surf. $11, 99 kroners, gives you a copy of the game, PC version.
Yeah.
All right. So that's not too much for this project.
No. It's I think you get a lot for the money, and we're hoping to release or to confirm that we will be releasing for Mac and Linux as well during the Kickstarter. So we're working on it as fast as we can.
Linux,
yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, thanks a lot, Al, for hanging out with us, telling us about the game. Glad you've been successful. I hope you get at least 2 or 3 times more on this before it's done. That'd be pretty awesome.
Fingers crossed. That will be amazing. That will be really, really amazing.
All right, folks. Well, thanks for showing up.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. Go support Skald, and see you next time.
Bye-bye.